Yo.
Happy Friday.
There we go.
Oh,
This is SANDCAST Beach Volleyball with Bourne and Travis Mewhirter, and we have we're bringing in probably definitely the most asked, most demanded guest we've had in a long time, and maybe second most ever behind the elusive Donald Sun. But today we got the new beach guy, Taylor Sander. What's happening, dude?
What up?
Just here. It's Friday.
Hey, happy Aloha Friday.
Aloha
we got the liquid
Friday.
Aloha
Got
in
the-
hand.
Cheers, boys.
Got the big waves.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's do
Just
it.
for you.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, bro. We never have the big waves on hand. It's very rare. No, we almost ran out, actually. Travis asked me if I had the big waves stocked, and I was like, I think this might be the first time we actually ran out. But
it a
nope, I
sponsor?
found some. Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's usually like piled up the wall.
At his old place, like the amount of beer that he had just stacked up in his garage was crazy. You
Oh,
probably
yeah.
had to
I
give a
was
lot away
neighbor-
when you moved.
I was neighbors with Jake Gibb, and
Oh, yeah.
of course he wasn't drinking all the Rockstar that
Yeah.
he got, so he was dropping it off for my parents.
Yeah.
And I opened my parents' cupboard, and they had like 100 Rockstars in there. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, well, Jake just drops them off every month. I'm like, just pawning off his
We've been
sponsors.
getting into the energy drink game lately. Just freaking hammering.
That's how, well, Taylor and Trevor, you've seen their place, right? Their front,
Yeah. Oh,
front
man.
yard is just like, I guess what you can call a yard. It's just like stacked.
Yeah, because
Just
Taylor was
monster.
Rockstar, and then Waiakea Water, and then Trevor's got Monster and Kona. So between the four of those drink companies, bro,
No
it's
one's
just
thirsty.
like they have a pyramid of just liquid. You walk through, it's like a corridor of drinks.
I know. I've been reaching out to companies, obviously trying to get sponsors and you know, doing what you beach guys have to do to make a living, you know. And so some companies like Celsius has sent me a bunch of boxes and Zevia, I think it's called.
Well, everyone will
So
send
my
product.
fridge is full of energy
Yeah.
drinks. It's pretty funny. I definitely see where it comes from.
You learn that every company seems to love sending product. It's getting the cash out of them that's
the tough part. Unless
It
you
is-
just start like black market Celsius and Zevia.
Right, yeah, you just flip it. Yeah. That's a good point.
Set up a little lemonade stand
There we go.
on the corner.
I'm gonna have my daughter like on the back alley here, just selling alcohol.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Well, this is definitely the first time we've had two Tokyo Olympians on at the same time, but different sports, kind of.
Different sports, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You kind
had
of
a busy
narrowed down
year.
that niche.
Yeah, busy, but now I normally I'd still be busy, but now
Yeah.
that I switched to beach, I have like all this free time. And
Yeah.
it's
You don't know
pretty
what to
nice.
do. Yeah.
I'm not used to it. But yes, it was fun being at the Olympics. Me and Try got to cross paths a
Yeah.
couple times, and it was fun watching him play
Yeah.
and fun watching those beach guys. I mean, it's pretty fun to see the level they're at, and then now try and work up to that level and
Yeah.
compete with you guys.
Yeah.
When
Pretty
you were in Tokyo, did you know that you were going to be switching pretty soon, or was this because I feel like if you just jump right in and pick up the best defender in the country and one of the best defenders in the world, it had to have been brewing for some time.
Yeah, I kind of brought it up to him. I was asking him some questions like, "Hey, dude, like, what can I make? Like, can I make a living on the beach?"
Yeah.
Little questions because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and they kind of sparked the conversation. He's like, "Oh, well, I'll take you," and I'm like, "Well, that was pretty easy. Like, I wasn't even coming to you to ask to play with me, but." I ended up working out just like a little conversation like that, just asking him questions.
Yeah.
And then obviously Jake was my neighbor all summer, so kind of asking him questions and seeing if this is something I could do for a living and support my family with. And so, you know, we're still seeing if that's a possibility.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of a leap of faith. No matter how good you are or whatnot, the beach game is just like a whole nother game that you just kind of got to learn the ins and outs of, which obviously you're learning. But I was actually, the first time I heard about it, I mean, we always kind of been like, okay, who's the indoor guys that are going to come out, or who could come out if they wanted? Sander, Micah Christensen, Kavika's talked about it. You know, they're DeFalco. But when we were walking in the opening ceremonies, which was like my first day in the Olympic Village, I was just tripping out like, what the hell am I doing here right now? Oh, Taylor, what's up, bro? And then you had mentioned that to me, like, yeah, I'm actually considering it. I was like, what? Like, oh, this is like, it's a big deal. And like knowing already that Jake's on his way out, Phil's on his way out, it's like perfect timing. Beginning of a quad, 3-year quad, but still like, it seems like the stars just aligned perfectly.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I was like, I'd always wanted to make the switch because I grew up playing in all the AAU and CBVA tournaments when I was a kid in high school. Was really successful and always like felt like, can I do it? And I obviously have confidence in my volleyball game and my volleyball knowledge to come out and make the switch pretty fast and jump into a tournament without any practice really, and just trying to see if I could try and make an Olympic Games on the beach. That's really my goal. And then talking with Taylor, I'm like, hey dude, like you're one of the best defenders in the world, like I don't want you to pick me out of pity,
Right.
Like I want you to do what's, best for you, for you to be successful, for you to try and make a run at another Olympics. And so, I think he had the faith in me to be like, yeah, I think we could do it, and it's going to be a pretty interesting. We're a little bit smaller, but I think our volleyball IQ and like our knowledge and, the work ethic can get us through, even though we're not very big at all.
What's your official height? People throw around a crazy number. 6'4".
6'4".
I've seen it a wide range. I've seen 6'6" to 6'3".
The problem is you jump too high. That's people think you're like huge.
Yeah, it's funny in the indoor volleyball world. I'm tiny, like pretty small compared to everybody. When I was at the tournament in Brazil, my first beach tournament, I was like, oh, these guys are big, but they're not like anything I've
indoor big.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit different, and so it made me feel a little bit better. Obviously, I was blessed to be able to jump pretty high, and obviously need to learn the techniques of blocking on the beach and things like that. But I think with some work and get the sand legs back, I'll be, trying to be out there at the best of them.
Right.
We had a pretty good neighbor to teach you how to block.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he seems pretty busy with his little beach camp he's got going on.
It makes me so happy to see Instagram and be like, yes, Jake's gone. Like, he's doing something else, thank God.
He's been around for a while.
Oh my God,
Yes.
so long. It's so crazy.
How was the tournament though? How was Brazil for you? I mean, obviously, like I think a 9th is a pretty dang good start. I know there wasn't like a fully loaded 4-star, and I know that as competitive as you are, you probably put like, it was a little bit watered down, but a 9th is still a 9th, and you still got to play Alisson, one of the best blockers ever on the beach, and you probably sided out like 90%. It's pretty dang good.
Yeah, I think the tournament overall was just like, hey, we're going to go there, try and get some points because I didn't have any points. Taylor luckily got us in with, his points, so that was awesome. I know you had to go through the qualifier, so I know everybody was like, dang, Taylor just got to
Straight
jump
into
right
a
in there.
4-star.
Yeah. Thanks to Taylor. But
Yeah.
overall, we were pretty out of shape. Like, we trained in Utah for a week. Did a couple trainings with Taylor and Jake before they went to the finals in Italy. But we played all the teams we played were really good.
Yeah.
I think all of the teams we played finished, top 5.
The Danish team you beat
They
Evander and
finished
Alvaro.
top 5, I think.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Danish team?
Yeah.
Yeah, we beat them the first
young
game.
kids.
They were pretty good. They pushed us, but then they ended up beating, the Evandro.
Number 1 seed in the whole tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Whoa.
it was like practice for me. That's kind of how we approached it. I was like, hey, let's just learn as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Taylor in the match like, dude, sorry, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do in this situation. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just go to the next play. And like literally I just learned how to like 3 and 4 block like the week before and delay block the week before I went to the tournament. And so I was actually stoked. I got some like good blocking moves. That was big for me because I was like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing.
No way.
Yeah, I didn't even know what a 3 to 4 block was until
That's what
I was
hated
playing
about
like
indoor.
pickup with my friends in Irvine at the Great Park. The guy
that
throws up a 3. I'm like, bro, what is a 3?
I only
thought
go
it
to
was just
2.
1s and 2s. And so for me, it's pretty funny to.
Well, you haven't tried the 6 yet?
Don't know what a 6 is.
I'm joking.
We're gonna have to
don't
teach
think
me
there's
that.
a
We
6.
can create one, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, why not?
Do a handstand block with our feet.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be sick. For sure we can make
Create
bounce
some
beach.
noise.
So that considered, you guys did really freaking well
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, I mean, we were both out of shape. Didn't practice much. I probably worked out like 4 times in that month. So cardio was a little tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, just went there. It was a great experience. No real expectations. Just don't make too big a fool of yourself because everybody was talking about this.
Yeah, yeah.
And for me, I didn't feel any pressure. Just like, hey, have fun,
Yeah.
play volleyball. That's what it is.
It's literally just, you just had to go out there and feel it. Like, oh, like this is what it feels
Exactly.
like. This is what it looks like.
And then watching like some of the best players, what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's still pretty gnarly to watch like the level of the guys that you're playing against. Like just watch them in a game before yours, and you're like, oh, these guys are pretty crazy. And watching it live is even more impressive.
Had you watched any FIVB in person yet before that?
No, this was my first time. I mean, I watched just on YouTube and things like that. Just your guys' matches, but.
How much does the indoor national team guys? I know Eric and Kavika are kind of all over it. How much does the indoor team kind of follow beach, if at all? I don't know. If
a lot of the Hawaii boys do.
Yeah.
I do just because I'm good friends with Taylor and follow his career, and I think, we do like if there's a big. I know when you guys were like at that qualifying time. We were
Cancun
following pretty close, and Eric's really good with all the points. And
he's better than me.
Yeah, what you guys need to qualify, and so we'd always get in a room and watch you guys' matches. It's pretty fun.
Nice.
And you guys, I mean, you were stuck in that hotel during VNL for a whole month. I feel like there probably wasn't a whole lot better to do.
I'm pretty bitter about that. We were there for like a month straight.
Yeah.
And I just got I was the captain of the trip, and so we get the money from FIVB, and like we didn't do that well, and it ended up being like $900 for all of us. And usually we usually medal or finish higher.
$900?
$900 for the whole. That's what we earned.
Your team made $900.
$900 each, but like
between coaches too.
No, it was a bigger roster because we took like
16?
Yeah. And so I was like, what? How is that possible? Because normally we get like pretty good money throughout a summer of VNL.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we usually go to like Final 4 or Final 6. And that's like extra. And I was like, man, I spent a month there and we made $900.
As
brutal.
As
It
a
was
16-person
brutal.
team.
Yeah, it was super brutal. And I was like, well, maybe beach isn't so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang. Where was I headed? Because I was on that flight when you guys were going to VNL.
You were going
I was
to
headed
Russia.
to Russia, yeah. And we had already done Cancun, I guess, at that point.
Yeah.
And like, some of us were complaining about Cancun, but then when I heard what you guys were doing, I was like, nah, I think I'm good. At least I was in Cancun.
Yeah.
It was
Could
brutal.
touch the water, eat tacos, sit outside.
Yeah, I remember TJ DeFalco was just so over it. He was done. I think Garrett Magututia, and he never says anything bad about anything. He was like, bro, that was a long month.
Thank goodness we had a hotel on the beach. Like we would go do beach workouts, like stretch on the beach and free mornings and stuff like that. And we were able to swim in the ocean. So if we didn't have that, I couldn't imagine like a whole month. But like we had 12 teams in one hotel, all at the same
Jeez.
like restaurant. cafe or whatever, and so it was like, you were waiting like a long time to go through the buffet.
Right.
And then the Wi-Fi was shot.
Yeah.
Didn't have Wi-Fi. Pretty brutal rooms, but it's life, Life
Yeah.
as a volleyball player. It's not
Yeah.
not always glamorous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you come into this season thinking, because it's like end of a quad, did you think that this might have been it for you indoor? And I know are you leaving the door open if you might, like, say you try beach out, like maybe indoor, like if someone gives you a contract, like you might go back to it?
Yeah, I feel like since I've kind of moved to beach, I've gotten offered more indoor contracts than ever. So it's super difficult to like turn those down. But like it's a lifestyle move,
Yeah.
Played 7 years indoor and lived, in another country for most of the year, and so it's tough.
Yeah.
So I think I was willing to sacrifice the money, just to, try it out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I think that door will always be open if I need it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, financially I can't do this. Then, I'll reconsider, but I'm going to give it an honest go all the way to Paris and see what I could do,
Yeah.
And I think it'll be super fun. I love the beach game, and I respect, you guys for all the work it takes to be good at beach and the sacrifices, but we'll see,
Yeah.
Still playing it by
Yeah.
one day at a time pretty much.
Yeah. How are you enjoying the lifestyle so far? I know normally you'd be in
He's
another
like,
country.
I got nothing to do.
freezing.
This is great.
Now you're on the 8th Street. You can just go surf whenever you want. You can go Lakers Clippers games.
Yeah, I got the Clipper Laker game tonight.
You got all the Celsius you can drink.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I think it's going to be fun. Obviously, right now it's like pretty slow.
Yeah.
I'm excited for things to start ramping up. I'm starting my new weightlifting program next Monday, and so just getting into it.
Yeah.
We're going to train all week next week, and then a little Christmas break, and then January hit it hard and, try and refine the game. I think learning from Brazil, like, it's a game of, like, being really sharp, not making errors, being good in transition. So, like, I definitely know what I need to work on, before next season.
Yeah. How does a weight training program differ from indoor to beach? Because I'm sure, while the movements are similar, you're jumping off a different surface, and you have to do so many different things on the beach, I feel like.
Yeah, a lot of my focus was, like, on, obviously, at indoor, you're beat up a little bit more.
Yeah.
You're landing a lot harder.
Right, your toenails are going to thank you. I don't know.
I've always been blessed with really, like, good feet. I've never had, like, problems with my
toes
feet.
would jam into the front of my shoes so much, and my calluses would build up. I had, like, black and blue
That's
toenails.
Yeah,
my
everybody else,
calluses.
I never had that
Oh,
problem.
wow. My feet are nice.
Because I change
these
my
days.
shoes, like, every week. This has always
That
kept the
Adidas
shoes new.
sponsorship's pretty nice.
Thank you, Adidas. But for real, like, I don't know. I think when we're talking about a new weight program, it's like I went to Christian, USA Beach weight coach, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be a blocker. Like, I need to learn how to load, like, low and then be able to explode out of that. I don't think, indoor we swing block, so
Yeah.
it's you never get in those deep ranges. So kind of getting some power out of that movement. And other than that, I think it's pretty close to the same.
Similar movements, just in different surface.
Exactly.
Basically. And then, the block, for sure. But I feel like blocking, you figure out what your depth is. Because, like,
Yeah.
look how deep I get, right? I'm like a butt to the sand guy, or hands to the sand. But then, like, Theo does, like, a 6-inch load, and he jumps extremely well,
Just like straight at the hips.
So it's
too,
not like
just hinges.
it's not like a one size fits all thing. You kind of have to find your like some guys are like the frog, right? Like their knees out, like Anders. When you see him at the bottom,
Yeah.
You
he's
kind of do
like
a little bit of
frog.
that too.
I think I do that. Yeah. So yeah, just like figuring out what your ideal block is. Period. Is like
Exactly.
and then you bring that to the gym. But you're in USA starting next Monday or whatever?
Yeah, I've been
At the
going
USA
in there,
gym?
like...
Oh, you've been in there?
Yeah, I've been going in there probably since end of September, October.
Mm-hmm.
Just sporadically. Nothing like... Just doing my own program that I've always been on.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay in shape.
Yeah.
So...
Roger.
Yeah. We said Brazil, like, you were kind of looking at it as, let's just see what we can learn, basically. So what were some of your bigger takeaways in terms of what you learned and maybe what you kind of marked to learn throughout the off season?
Yeah, definitely need to, like... I think it'll come with the chemistry with Taylor. Just finding the ball, like, trajectory of his set. I felt a little off, and so probably didn't help him much. And then just transition setting as a blocker. I didn't train too much with the FIVB ball, the Mikasa.
It's different.
Yeah, and so it's not as forgiving as the Wilson. So just like bump setting and being more crisp and like finishing your touches.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just come with like more reps, more chemistry with Taylor. And then being better with my hands on block, like kind of like still indoor blocking. So I think it'll come like a little bit bigger hands, shaping.
Yeah.
But I've always been like a broad jumper. I've never been like a straight up jumper. So it's like just, getting my legs under me.
Just the muscle memory.
Exactly.
Get rid of the broad jump.
Yeah. So
I've played between beach and indoor my whole life, but when I first came out, I was freaking jumping into the net. Like I'm attacking and I'm like trying to not hit the net because I was broad jumping so much. But it goes away pretty quick. You start to realize how inefficient a long approach is. And you're like, God, I'm getting burnt out. I'll gladly do a 3-step approach right here. It's crazy how long ago it's been for me. Like I just freaking saw my window and just bailed ASAP. But then again, I wasn't like a 20, 30 kill guy, and that doesn't pay indoors.
How's your body feeling, by the way, coming out
Amazing.
Indoor? Yeah?
I had a shoulder surgery a couple years ago. Always had knee problems, nothing serious like tendonitis.
Yeah.
No surgeries. Destroyed my ankle the end of my last season in Poland leading up to the Olympics. So I was battling that through VNL. Like, did my ankle pretty good. Still having problems with it. So that's probably the biggest. But other than that, like, shoulder health, knee health is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just getting strong again. I think I took these last couple of months to, like, really work on letting my tendons heal.
Yeah.
Get good range of motion through my joints. And so now just getting strong, explosive, so I can try and pound some balls out there. I'm excited.
When you were blocking, this is always something I was didn't like about indoor, I guess. But at the level you got to, it's a little different. Did you have freedom blocking in terms of like you just have to seal your space, or did the coaches and the team allow you to kind of be free of reaching and baiting guys and kind of being free with it rather than like really regimented?
Yeah, it changed. Like my first couple of years on the national team, it was like, hey, get to your space, be straight.
Be over, yeah.
Stuff like that. Then kind of Alan Knipe and Hildebrand at Long Beach started doing this like
jump and drag
kind of like show, take, moves. And TJ DeFalco, if you've watched him on the indoor, he gets a lot of like solo stuffs just for, showing his body and then his hands are somewhere else.
Yep.
And so we implemented that into our team. And it was kind of like, hey, if you're solo, you're able to make those moves.
Yeah. You don't want to be overlapping.
Exactly. You don't want to be doing it every time.
Yeah.
But there's good times when you're solo, like you see something, go take it. Always 3-man, you're straight
Take
with
your
everybody
spot,
sealing the line.
That's what I hated.
I don't know. It was fun. I think like I was working with Rich Lamborn. He's gonna be our coach. Like a little bit of those like 3-4 moves, like it's like bent elbow kind of
Shaping
stuff.
it, yeah.
So that you're not coming off the net.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it. It's cool. I think TJ is one of the for sure the best in the world at it. It's pretty fun to watch him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nobody does the bent elbow stuff.
On the beach.
No, indoor. I'm saying, right? Like that's not really much of a thing.
No, it's just like it's like TJ does it. I was doing it a little bit. But like Micah Christensen does it a little bit. But like we were all we would practice it. Like
nice.
We'd go there and we'd block angle balls
with your other hand.
Yeah, we'd just go one hand and work like that across our body.
Yeah, that's the Hildebrand.
He
was trying to do that.
And so
I pushed back on that one a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it can really hurt you or it could help you, I think.
Well, it depends how far you go. Because I was watching the drill. This is when I was out and he was doing national team stuff. So I'd just come down and watch. And I saw guys pulling their left shoulder off to block with their right. I'm like, okay, now that's just creating a terrible habit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can get a block because you know exactly where the coach is hitting. But no, I definitely get that. Like,
yeah, it's like you got to go over, but you got to be good, like square with your hips.
Yeah,
so you're not
exactly.
like blowing off like the other
and don't
arm.
open up this whole thing to get tooled, you know?
Yeah.
The whole offside of your hand. Like, you got to be on it here. And then still be able to get your other hand around it to shape it. But yeah.
Yeah,
no,
for the beach game, I'm not sure. Like, if that's the way to go. It kind of opens up too much because you're not as big.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's just the direction a lot of the world has gone because Anders does that. I mean, he's so far outside of his body all the time.
No, yeah, outside your body line is great.
Yeah.
It's just a fine line between opening yourself up to get tooled and pulling your left hand off and like keeping this sealing and sealing like the full-on seam / angle hit with the other hand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was one of the toughest transitions for Alex Kleiman to make because she was so used to just taking her space.
Yeah.
And April would say, if you see it, just take it. And Alex was like, that's not my job. And that was one of her toughest things was just like, because now it's a one-on-one every time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, when we had Mike Lambert on the podcast, he was like, when I was hitting, it was amazing. There's only one blocker there. And I thought about that watching you play Alisson, that there was, like, you were still just, like, carving him up. It was like, he's making the best blocker in the world look not that great. Just because there's one blocker, I'm sure it's probably kind of nice for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's still tough. I mean, he's a big guy. The court's a little bit smaller. And there is, like, more, like, jumping. So you'll see him somewhere and then he'll be jumping somewhere else. But it's, like, also pretty important to, like, look where the defender is. I kind of, like, the first half of the tournament, I was just kind of like, what's the blocker doing? And then that's kind of where the shot, like, if the blocker's there, I'll do the shot over him. And then I started, like, doing a quick look at the defender, and then that kind of told me, well, maybe what the blocker was doing. So just, like, learning little stuff as you go.
Yeah. And Guto is also just everywhere.
Yeah, he's unreal. Especially
so
against
it's
against
like him
us.
and Taylor are like the fucking scrappiest little defenders where it's just like, Jesus, they're just
good.
Flying everywhere.
Did you see that rally that they had with them?
I think I did, yeah.
Nuts.
I blew it.
No, that was great, though.
Taylor goes after the match. Dude, we would have been on SportsCenter top 10 if you would have hit that ball in. And I was like, dang it, I blew it. That was our one opportunity.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have got on top 10 if you didn't Yahtzee it. And you freaking bounced it. Just needed it like...
I told Taylor, I was like, I
out.
swear he was there. And I was like trying to chisel him, but he was sitting on the ground. I was like, well, I don't know what I was seeing. He's just a big guy. I saw something there. That ball was coming from like 10 feet off the end line. I was like trying to track it and see the block.
This is the one I'm going to try to Yahtzee 5 feet right there.
And you Yahtzeed it.
Yeah, I did Yahtzee that
You
one.
only missed it by that much,
I know.
too.
That would have been sweet.
You got to go for the glory.
Exactly. It was like 16-16 or something too. I was like, if we got that point, maybe we win that
Momentum, all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I thought you guys would have won, no matter who scored the actual point, that you guys won just because you put Alisson on a respirator.
Me and Taylor were also, I was looking for oxygen. I was like, hey, someone got oxygen here? Couldn't breathe.
Yeah, that's something you rarely get indoors.
No, it was like no cardio indoors. It's like a little bit slower, like wipe the floor.
Yeah, right.
I was actually surprised how fast the whistle blows.
FIVB
The
is
FIVB
quick.
is
And I was
fast.
like, first match, I was like, wait, like, wait, I'm not even
Taylor,
like
what's-
turned around yet. He blew the whistle. I was like, oh, I can't breathe. Then I was getting all lightheaded. And then the other team called timeout, and I was like, oh my gosh,
God.
thank you.
Yeah, FIVB pushes you. And then you
Oh,
go
yeah.
to like Stade where you're at altitude, and it's just like a marathon. It's like a cardio battle.
Yeah. They waste no time, though.
Or Cancun where it's like 95 degrees and the sand's burning your feet.
They at least let you guys have, like, the mini water
Yeah, if
breaks,
it's
right?
hot, they give you like extra time or something
Oh,
like
that's
that.
cool.
Yeah, but it's still a grind.
So that was your first beach tournament since you were, what, like 15? Playing CBVAs?
Oh, I mean, I think I was 18, maybe me and Taylor played in one when we were in college together.
Okay.
It was like a maybe.
Yeah.
I played like, I think I got my AAA when I was in high school.
Okay.
But like, yeah, other than that, I didn't play in any like opens or anything like that.
Yeah.
What's your history with Taylor? I know you've known him since a super young age.
Yeah, we always battled against each other in club when he was playing in outrigger.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were always on the youth junior national team indoor and the junior national team indoor. So we spent like a lot of time during the summers together.
Was that at Chula Vista? You guys training out?
No, we were. Where were we? We were in
did
like
that.
Ohio at some crazy
what?
sports complex there.
Oh, no way.
So we did like a little training. Then we went to like youth worlds, junior worlds.
Youth Norseca, all that stuff too?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Canada, I think we went to.
yeah.
And then high school, I went with some buddies to visit Hawaii. I stayed with Taylor. We just became really good friends, and then, always battled against each other in college. Stayed close, hung out whenever I was back in California. And yeah.
Same recruiting trip to SC.
SC, yeah, we had a couple of
bruh.
recruiting trips together.
We thought we had you guys.
I thought
Me
you
and
did
Riley
too.
were hosting
Taylor
and Taylor and Grant Delgado.
Yeah.
This guy didn't even remember that I was there. I was like, bro, you stayed in my room. He's like, I thought Riley hosted
You were
me.
busy. I just remember
I was
Murphy.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Remember Murph? It's hard to miss Murph. Yeah, big white boy.
yeah,
But
but-
we had a solid time. Like we came out of that recruiting trip. Me and Riley, like, yeah, we did our
Got
job.
him. Yeah.
We're good.
You guys did
They're
a
all
good
committing
job.
that
It was
night.
fun.
It's probably 3 a.m. and they're both committed. Full
Yeah.
commit.
Just hung out at the library all night.
Yeah, but then we sent.
It's not
we
a bad
sent-
school.
Taylor got picked up by Fergie, the head coach, in the
Yeah.
morning, and he had
Taylor Crabb, not
Taylor
me.
Crabb. Sorry, the bug,
We got to figure
Yeah,
something
yeah.
out with you two.
and the bug had penises drawn all over his face, and he didn't know. He wakes
wasn't
up.
me.
He wakes up all
picks him up.
hungover, and walks and gets picked up by Fergie, and Fergie has to take him to his house
Oh,
before he
that's
drops him off
amazing.
at the airport. And we didn't see him that morning. We probably weren't awake, but that's how you know it was a good time. That also happened to the bug at my wedding.
I remember seeing pictures of that. That's
Taylor's
so
got a
funny.
history.
After 10 p.m., it's the gremlin.
Well, I
You
remember
put water on him, and it turns into a gremlin.
Taylor showed Cody Caldwell around on his recruiting trip, and
Oh,
Cody
man.
was like, "I barely made it."
Yeah, oh, for sure.
That's funny.
Man, I could tell too many stories, but I should probably get Taylor Bug's permission before I tell those ones.
Well, I feel like anything that
Dude, you're
happens
throwing
at
me
your
under the
wedding-
bus.
Right, yeah. Yeah, right, exactly. Dang.
But I mean, your last beach tournament maybe in college in A, and then you jump into a 4-star in Brazil where you're playing. I mean, 2 of the blockers you played against have won world championships in the last 5 years. It's a pretty big jump to make, and you made it. I mean, you played obviously indoor at the highest level there was, and you mentioned that there were no nerves, but like, how was the expectations just playing in a beach tournament at all? Just like, was it different atmosphere, vibe, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I was excited, just to see what I could do.
Yeah.
I think it did allow me to see, like, hey, I can hang with these guys.
Yeah.
With a little bit more practice. Like, I mean, those guys are mid-season, and they have their little tour that they got in Brazil.
Yeah.
The big tour. I don't know.
It's
what
like
it
when
is.
all the Brazilians are peaking.
Yeah, so
Usually
they're
us.
sharp. Like, you could tell just their touches and things like that. And I was like, yeah, if we were a little better in some areas, like, we could definitely push these guys. So it gave me a little confidence knowing, like, hey, put in some work, put in some practice, learn from some guys, be a student of the game. Like, it is totally different than indoor. So I do have to kind of start over. I still have my volleyball skills that I've learned throughout the years that I can apply, but it's a different game, and I have a little bit of beach knowledge, but you do need like those reps and experience, and just being out here on the beach and just practicing all the time.
Yeah.
So
And Taylor Crabb, I think he probably envisioned his career going a little bit more similar to yours, I think, where he would have played indoor for a little bit longer. But I know that he did not like France. I think he spent his 1 year there, and then he came on the beach, and him and Trevor made like every semifinal in their first year, and he's like, I'll just stay here. So is this like exciting for you to try like a sort of a new chapter? And is this like something that you envisioned even when you started your indoor career, that you'd always kind of finish it on the beach?
yeah, I didn't think I would be here so soon.
Yeah.
But just the stars aligned, and I was like, all right, well, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
Do my best, like, obviously figure out the world of beach volleyball and how to make a living and get sponsors and things like that. But like, I'm excited to see, where beach volleyball goes. I know, with Bali's buying the AVP and like adding what we think is more stops. I don't really know that much. And like trying to grow the sport of beach volleyball, that's exciting for me. Like, I didn't know that before I went into this, but like, hey, that's going to help us, And then with the change to the FIVB tour, I know it's going to hurt us a little bit because I have no points. So we're going to have to kind of grind through some smaller series, challenger to try and get in the top 16. And, I think it'll be a good challenge, and, hopefully, finish well in some tournaments.
For sure. I think it's great timing for you. I mean, so much change, world tour, new schedule, and the last one was crap. Like, it just didn't work. Like, no one, you could do well. You could be a top 16 team in the world, and you're not really even making that good of a living off that, which shouldn't be the case, in my opinion. It wasn't when I first came out, before the star system. And then Bally's, like, it's the first time that the tour's ever been bought not out of bankruptcy. And we're getting bought by a major corporation. I think it was always private owners before, right?
Yeah.
So, like, good timing. You don't want to come out when it gets good. You need to be out on the beach before it gets good so that you're at the top when it gets good. And I think you're bringing hype. Like, people know your name already in the volleyball community. It's good for all of us. We want the sport to grow. We want fans to come into the sport. So bringing in new fresh legs like Jake, he did his work. He did his part. He also didn't, talk with me that much. So now I got another brada on tour to hang out with.
Yeah,
which
bring
will be a
some
little more fun with
some
me.
flavor,
Yeah. I'm all about it.
I'm excited. It'll be. I think we're gonna put on a good show for everybody for sure.
When we run into each other, it's gonna be fun, especially if we get a good crowd.
Yeah. And that Trevor, he'll be running his mouth.
You don't have to do anything when Taylor and Trevor are on the court. You just cruise, and it's super entertaining in itself.
I know, those are my favorite matches to watch.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, my parents are always like, oh man, do they even love each other?
They should hug. They should hug after the match.
It's so funny.
Do they even love each other?
Well, you started your beach career with two pretty fun tournaments with Fuds and the Texas four-man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Fuds was a disaster. Yeah, just the weather didn't cooperate for us. It was super
You needed
windy.
me in the
It's a
middle,
wild
bro. You
card
needed
out
me
there.
covering in the middle.
Yeah. Trevor was milking some injury.
Oh my god!
So
The whole time.
we didn't have Trevor, but
He thinks he's so good with his left now because we won.
Austin was next level. I think like
It
that
wasn't
was
pretty, but yeah.
that was super fun.
That was
I mean,
fun.
we were all not in shape, but freaking beat down Team California. Even though I'm from California,
Yeah.
I know everybody's giving me crap for being on Team Hawaii. I was like, I didn't ask to be on Team Hawaii, you know, like.
No, it's the reason is because the McKibbins couldn't play. They were both injured. They didn't want to play because they had so much work to do.
Yeah.
And then, bro, I mean, you got the Hawaii vibe. You got the pigeon down, small kind.
Yeah,
So
small
it was
kind.
perfect.
Yeah. It was fun. I was like, man, much rather play on Team Hawaii than Team California.
Yeah.
I mean, they seemed a little bit stressed all the time, and we were just like, wow, we're just here. We're just gonna play volleyball, and it ended up working out for us.
It was sick. We had the freaking house with the. Luckily, you know how to drive the boat, or else someone might have died out there, because we had the wakeboarding boat at the house.
Oh, and you were driving the boat?
Yeah, I grew up with boat. My parents have always had a boat, so
Okay.
I had some experience. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. We went out and wake surfed, and
We're gonna take this boat out.
Yeah.
Whether or not someone knows how to
Yeah,
drive, I don't
exactly.
know.
that was fun. That was a fun
Sandra
trip.
knows how to drive. Okay, perfect. Let's go.
But imagine having every volleyball game being filmed from every single angle
Yeah.
like they did. I think that's next level.
Yeah.
Because it shows so much like detail that, you know, when you're playing indoor, the camera's so far away. Then they'll do like a crappy zoom in. Can't really see like the angle of the ball or how big the block is.
Yeah.
But like, you know, that's next level.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
if
They're
we
awesome.
could get that
I think-
for all of our FIVB
Yeah,
matches,
it'll
not the.
create more interest for
But
sure.
the greatest match I ever played in my life was in Cancun against Taylor and Jake, in my opinion, in terms of what was on the line and who was playing against each other. And half the court's barely lit because the lights were only coming from one
And the
side.
camera's like, it was so humid. And so the camera was like fogging up half the
It was
time.
the ocean salt
Yeah.
spray on the, like that was the best match I ever played in. Was you could barely make out who the players are down on the
I
court.
remember watching that match.
Trevor almost died in that match.
Oh, dude! Every time I had to pick him up off the ground,
What was happening?
dude, we were so gassed because we
I
didn't
thought he
get
was
a
like
bye.
broken knee or something. He was
No,
like,
Just Trevor.
it was like 90 degrees at night. First of all, and we had to play 2 matches that day. Taylor and Jake had a bye in the morning because they won their pool, so we had Poland,
Fifi and Brill, yeah?
Fifi and Brill, and then Spain, and then we played them at 11 p.m. and like already gassed, going to 3 sets with them. Trevor's getting every serve. So, bro, that was just straight exhaustion. And then he didn't go to sleep till like 5 a.m. because his body was like so revved up. Oh, he couldn't sleep.
It's the worst.
And then we played Semenov in the morning, and he just like.
is that
just
the
biggest
Russian
dick.
guy?
Yeah.
That guy, I was watching him in the World Tour finals. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
that was quite
That's
the
embarrassing.
controversy.
I saw your little highlight you posted.
Yeah.
He does that to his partner. Like, you'll like
It'd be brutal.
get one past the block, and he'll turn around and be like looking at his guy. We're like, dude, there's no way in the universe that it's his fault. Like, you're just the biggest dick.
Well, the Russian Federation, they're done with him. They kicked him out of the program.
He's like 7
because of
feet
that.
tall, no?
Yeah.
He's 7 foot.
He's always been a pretty interesting cat. Like, he was on the indoor program, and then they were trying to like get their beach program really good, and they had, I don't know what their budget was, but he demanded like 2/3 of it just for himself.
Had a boy.
And then he's always been really
Hey,
good.
if
They
it
went to
works.
2 Olympics, yeah.
Yeah,
And-
no, I played him World University Games 2011 or something. He was out there.
I didn't realize
Playing-
you'd been playing him that long.
Yeah, he's been a beach guy. I think they tried to bring him indoors and then brought him back out.
Yeah.
And then I think he thinks that he's a lot better than he is.
Poor Lashukov. That poor
Oh
guy.
man, he gets just wrecked. And he kind of takes it too. He's like, okay, my
He
bad.
does.
We're like, dude, none of this is your bad, but whatever.
Yeah.
I love it.
it'll be interesting to see where he goes because it's wild. Like I feel like the World Tour it went huge for a minute, and now it's starting to get smaller.
Size-wise?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, because I mean, Semenoff is done, and then I mean Jake and Phil, they're done, and so like all the top U.S. blockers are on the smaller side.
Huh.
No offense to
I
you
hadn't
guys.
thought about that.
I know I'm small. So.
Bro, what?
So it's like kind of going in the other direction a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. I hadn't thought about that. Nikolai? Is he retired?
No, he
Or just
picked
split up?
up he picked up a young kid. He's like 21.
They've just hung
Lefty.
out way too much. Nikolai Lupo, for like, how many years have they been a team?
11.
Yeah, that's too long to hang out with one person.
Yeah. Well, Losia
But
Cantor.
Nikolai's still playing? He
Yeah.
picked up
Yeah,
another
I
partner.
guess so. But,
Yeah.
Oh, Tolly.
Tali's done. Yeah.
And he's like 6'11".
Yeah. And then God,
Who
someone
else?
Someone else pretty big retired.
Oh, I love it. All these
Um,
tall guys, get them
yeah.
out of here.
Well, it was crazy that so Tali was 24 and he's going to law school, and then
Yeah.
Mirko Gerson, he's a defender for
Yeah.
Switzerland, but he up and retired like the day after they lost in Tokyo. He's
Sorry,
like
bud.
29.
My
Yeah. Yeah, got him.
bad. Interesting.
Yeah,
Well, that's good. It's good news for us. Smaller's better.
yeah, it's getting smaller and scrappier.
Come down and play here. Play down. Come play down here. Sweet.
Have you and Taylor mapped out? And I know I want to be mindful of your time.
This guy's got to go
How
watch LeBron James.
I'll probably head out soon. It's all good.
Okay. Have you guys mapped out like what the next couple months look like? Because is it an elite?
Yeah,
Challengers in
are
March?
we doing a Hawaii training camp or what? Are you coming out? Are
Yeah,
you,
trying to get, if there's any sponsors out there that want to fly us out.
oh, there we go. He's getting into
No,
the,
I don't think so. I'll be with my kids for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Well, we'll
okay.
see. I want to get out there and do a little outrigger training camp.
We usually do like first, second week of the new year.
I could probably
And you're
make that
Hawaiian
work.
now, so
Yeah, right?
Yeah, bro, you're dialed. Well, I know you got a place to stay at the Crabs. I'd offer my place, but their spots. That's where you want to be. But yeah, that'll be fun.
Super fun.
Definitely won't be a lack of a good time.
Yeah.
We should get Rich to come out. Good excuse. Shout out any sponsors out there that want to fly everyone out to Hawaii.
Hawaiian Airlines,
That'd be dope.
United.
United.
go.
Yeah.
is that a weird thing? Just like booking your own travel and stuff? Because I know when Mike Ma, I got pretty close with him over the summer because he was just here hanging out. He was like, "Bro, you book your own plane tickets?" I was like, "Yeah."
For what? For like AVP?
AVP,
Everything.
FIVB,
You book
everything.
every flight.
But indoor, you got like
I don't
everything's
know.
kinda
Some
taken
guy
care of,
did it
right?
for us for Brazil.
Oh, you
Okay.
can. Yeah, you can hire. You can do it through a.
Oh, some guy that works for USA Beach.
What? Oh, bro.
I just
Man, he's getting the red carpet
What's the
treatment.
bug getting? Yeah, geez,
yeah,
you
what
come
is
over
happening?
from, you coming over from indoor?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe
yeah,
that's a
he
new
booked.
thing.
Yeah, he booked it for us. We gave him the card information. Then I think
I think you used the travel agent probably.
Maybe.
There's a guy that like does a lot of the.
maybe.
Did Taylor, did the bug put you in touch with him?
Oh, they just booked all our tickets together.
The whole U.S. You booked your own flight, right?
Yeah, but man,
Oh, whatever.
That's the classic
You're gonna be
one-ways.
booking your every flight on your own, normally, unless you got some like thing that I didn't even know about. But whatever, it's all good.
I don't know how anything works,
I
dude.
know. I just tell Trevor, book your flight and then send it to me, and I'll get the same one.
Yeah.
I hate doing the homework on it. It's brutal.
yeah.
But
I know
let's,
I know you got a game to catch.
yeah, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
Congrats
Thanks for having me.
to the move to beach. We're happy to have you out here.
I'm super excited, man.
Good.
It'll be
Time
fun.
to we'll throw up the barbecue next time. Get it dialed.
I'm
Yeah.
moving into the studio.
Hey, let's go.
That
You're
pulls
in
out.
here. Pull out couch. I got NFL Red Zone on the TV.
Let's go.
Good to go.
All right.
What else do you need?
Thanks, boys.
Okay, bro. Shoot.
Shoots.